I want to thank our reader for the great reading today, and Gary Lynn Floyd and our CSL music team, especially Katrina Smith, for the wonderful music today. This month of May, we're talking about everyday living with our message, Reveal Your Passion. And to honor Mother's Day, we're looking also at the passion mothers and mothering spirits and the divine feminine provide on the planet as well. Passion lives deep in our bones, and it pulses through our dreams and whispers to us to be quiet so that we can dare to listen. It's that sacred fire within us, and revealing it wakes us up, shakes us up, and makes us feel fully alive. So, are you curious why the title is Reveal Your Passion? Well, we do not find passion or force it, we reveal it. It's already in you, and you must uncover it. And while you ponder that, let me give you your question for the week. What is the one choice you might make today to reveal your passion, to embrace stretching into your fullness, and to recognize your passion is the divine spark within you that makes you feel alive? One more time. What is the one choice you might make today to reveal your passion, to embrace stretching into your fullness, and to recognize your passion is the divine spark within you, making you feel alive? So, what is passion? Well, one of my congregants talks a lot about looking up definitions of things, and so I wanted to get a head start this week, get a little bit ahead of the game on that research. Passion is defined as a strong and barely comfortable emotion, meaning if you have a passion for something, you have a very strong interest in it and like it very much, or maybe dislike it very much. You might be surprised that the word passion comes from the Latin passio, meaning to suffer. Now, that may seem strange, but think about it. What are you willing to suffer for? What can you not live without? That's precisely where your passion is. Passion is not about doing more. It is about feeling more alive. It's that pulse of aliveness, the thing that lights us up, that opens our heart and keeps us up at night sometimes in the best way. Ernest Home, the founder of Science of Mind, said, "There is a divine urge within everyone, an inner something that forever presses forward, urging us to leap into the unknown." That divine urge is our passion. It's not created, it's remembered. It's about the soul's call, your soul's unique reason for being here on this planet. And as you heard in today's reading, Howard Thurman so wisely spoke of passion when he said, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it." Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. And mothers, know this deeply. Whether you're birthing a child, a vision, a business, or a dream, there's a knowing, a pull, a sacred yes. When we listen to our heart song, that's our passion. And make no mistake, passion is not always loud. Sometimes it's quite quiet, persistent, revealed not just through doing, yet through feeling, nurturing, listening, and loving, like a mother's lullaby, or for me, like my call to come to Louisiana and start this community. I couldn't shake it. And wow, What a gift it was to me. So how do we actually begin to reveal our passion so we can feel alive? Here's a spiritual practice for you. I call it Remember Your Joy. I invite you to close your eyes and think back to a childhood memory, moments when you lost track of time, times that you felt what we call now in the flow. And ask yourself, when do I feel most alive? Those memories are clues. Your past joys leave footprints on your heart and on your soul. Howard Thurman also said, there is something in every one of you that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. There was a reason that our meditation song today was Listen to Your Heart Song, because that's where your real passion emerges. So here's another spiritual practice that might help you reveal your passion. I call it Listen Within. Take a breath, and we're going to practice stillness, taking time each day to just be quiet. Listen to your heart's song. Really listen. It rarely screams, it's usually whispering. So you do have to really listen. Yogananda was referring to looking within and listening to our heart song when he said, the more you depend upon conditions outside yourself for happiness, the less happiness you will experience. Let me repeat that. The more you depend upon conditions outside yourself for happiness, the less happiness you will experience. So if passion is already within us, why don't we always feel alive? What gets in the way of our listening to our heart song and revealing our passion? A Course in Miracles says, you are afraid of your own redemption and you believe it will kill you. Now that's a bit intense, but think about it. Sometimes we hide our passion because we fear what it will require of us. Or what if people don't approve? What if I fail? What if I shine too brightly? This is especially true for women and for mothers. So much of the mothering role, as it's been shaped culturally, is about putting others first, dimming your own light, and playing small so others can feel big. But Katherine Economou reminds us, you were not meant to shrink to fit. You are born to stretch into your fullness, to inspire by simply being. And what if the most powerful thing a mother could do for her children is to live her passion fully? Not to abandon them, but to model for them what it looks like to be lit up from within. So here's another spiritual practice I call Stop Apologizing for Your Dreams. Mothering energy often teaches selflessness, but true selflessness and service comes after self-awareness, not instead of it. Let me repeat that. True selfless service comes after self-awareness, not instead of it. So let your desires live. Let them breathe and stop apologizing for your desires. So you mothers and would-be mothers and mother figures out there, model what you want your young ones or those that you are mentoring to see. Another thing that Katherine Economou wrote is apropos here. The moment you stop waiting for permission, your passion steps into the light. So I dare you to stop waiting for permission. You know, when we're daring someone to expand who they are and find them hesitant, we often ask if they are chicken, meaning afraid to be greater or to take on a challenge. So here's a story that might suggest where that term originated. What if you knew who you really are? Once upon a time, there was a farmer who found an abandoned eagle's nest, and in it was an egg that was still warm. He looked around and saw no signs of the mother or any siblings, and so the farmer decided to take the nest home. And he placed the egg in his hen house under one of the hens. And after 2 weeks, the egg hatched and out came a beautiful baby eagle. Now, the hens looked after the eagle as if it were their own, and the eagle pecked about the farmyard, scrambled for grain, ran into the chicken house when it rained outside. It did exactly what all the other hens did. It rarely looked up because none of the other chickens looked up. And after a very long time and comfortable life in the yard, it was very old, and one day the eagle decided to lift up its head, and it saw above it a wonderful sight. An eagle soaring high in the sky. Looking at it, the old creature sighed and said to itself, "If only I had been born an eagle." You're in your life. You have one life. So don't let anyone tell you what you can or can't do, because it's up to you. You were actually born an eagle, born a tiger, born with all of the strength and courage and flight to soar. And it's your decision not to look up into the sky and understand that you are absolutely all of that. So as time passes, you're going to become old. And one day when you realize that you can soar and have all of this strength and all of this might, it might be too late. So go after your dreams now and believe that you can achieve anything that you desire. And since it's Mother's Day, I want to talk a little bit about the sacred energy of mothering. Whether or not you have biological children, we all hold within us the ability to mother people, to mother ideas and projects and communities. Because mothering is a deep expression of sacred passion. It takes patience and presence and fierce protection of what matters. That's what mothering is all about. Revealing your passion doesn't mean leaving behind your nurturing side. It actually means integrating it. The world has told many of us that passion has to be big and loud and dramatic. That's not true. Sometimes it's soft and steady, like a grandmother who bakes bread while she hums, or a teacher who sparks joy in a classroom, or a woman that reclaims time to write poetry after years of caregiving. So here's another spiritual practice for you. It's called Act on What Lights You Up. Even a small step towards your passion can send ripples out into the world. So call somebody, take a class, share your voice, make art, plant a garden, dance, sing. Start where you are and do what brings you joy and makes you feel alive. You don't need permission to be passionate. You don't need permission to justify what lights you up. You only need to allow that passion to be revealed. I use this quote from Ernest Holmes a lot, but it bears repeating once again. Life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. So if you want more aliveness and more joy and more purpose, according to Holmes, we have to think it and speak it and act on it. So mothers, hear this very clearly. You don't need to wait until your children are grown, or your job is stable, or your house is in order to feel alive. Your passion, your joy is not selfish, it's sacred. So I invite you today to remember this. Your passion is a divine spark. It's not a luxury. It's how God moves through you. It's how the world is changed, not by duty, but by delight. So to all the mothers and grandmothers and aunties and caregivers and nurturing spirits in our lives, show us what sacred passion looks like by putting it into action. And to each of us, let me say this. Reveal your passion so you can feel alive. The world needs it, and you need it as well. So in summary, how might you learn to reveal your passion? Well, know what your passion is. Follow that divine urge within you by remembering what brings you joy and makes you feel alive. And then embrace stretching into your fullness. Forget being afraid of failure or what other people might think. Figure out your desires and embrace them. Look up and soar like that eagle. And recognize your passion as a divine spark. Act on those things that light up your life, and you'll help light up the world. Remember, the world needs you to live your passion. So here is the affirmation for the week. How is it I so willingly, energetically, and effortlessly reveal my passion, embrace stretching into my fullness, and recognize my passion is the divine spark within me, making me feel alive? So make a conscious choice this week to look up and look within and discover what makes you come alive. Forget being the eagle acting like a chicken. Soar to your highest height and adopt a couple spiritual practices, strengthen your ability to reveal your passion, and then live it. Let's pray. We take a deep, nourishing breath. We just know as we move into that sacred garden within ourselves, that place that lives where we see the world from our own eyes and know that we can reveal our passion. We move into that place and settle there, knowing that right where we are, God is. And what I know to be the truth for each of us this week is that we're stretching ourselves to listen to our heart's song. And we're looking up and noticing how we can soar like an eagle. We're embracing that divine spark within us, not waiting for permission, just going for it. And in our role as mothers or mentors, we're setting the example of doing what has us feeling alive. I know we walk our days with our hearts wide opening, and we're remembering those words of Howard Thurman. Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. I know throughout our week, our words uplift, our actions heal, and our presence inspires. I see each of us being the embodiment of divine love and a beacon of light shining from the limitless love of our hearts. I'm grateful to all the mothers, grandmothers, aunties, caregivers, nurturing spirits in our lives, and anyone who shows us what sacred passion looks like in action. And I'm so grateful you decided to spend some time with us today. Grateful we can go forth, allowing ourselves to reveal our passion with joy, bliss, and blessings, and an open heart. So it's with great gratitude that I release these words into the law of mind, spirit, and action, knowing it's already done. So I can say amen, and we can affirm it together. And so it is. And thanks again for everyone that contributes. I am so grateful for that. Enjoy our offertory song.